Hello, I'm Lori Benoit, and I am the Educators Rising Program Coordinator at McNeese State University, and I serve our five parish region in addition to our McNeese program. If you can look on the right, this is me in the far right, and then as we move up through those little graphics, you can see the way that the Educators Rising program is designed to work in our local region. We have our high school programs, and they are now in 8 schools. That's very exciting. We're in 3 parishes, and those high school programs have courses that support students as they explore the education profession. Ideally, those students are going to matriculate to McNeese State University where they can join our Rowdy Rising organization. Rowdy Rising is the organization that continues their progress along the Educators Rising pathway. And then as we get to the top, we want all of those students in the Burton College of Education to become quality teachers and return to our districts so that they can serve our students, so that we can all benefit from this quality program. I'm going to get out of the PowerPoint now because I want to show you the way our virtual PLC works. You would go to Microsoft 365 and select Teams. And if that is not, if Microsoft 365 is not your dominant, I guess it's not a browser interface. There you go. It's not your dominant interface. Don't worry. I'm also sending a link, and you could just click that link and it'll take you straight to the Teams. Microsoft was something that all of us could access, that we had ready access to. So when you get here, what you're going to see is our team it's already built out. I've already built this shell for our team. Not only is it a place that we'll be able to virtually meet, but it's a place that we can have consistent virtual interaction. Yes, we can use email, and if it seems like this is not the best place for those interactions, we can continue with our group email. But it would be great if we could house these conversations in the same space where the materials are. So this is a virtual PLC to support one another as we navigate all things Educators Rising. When you come to this screen, you're going to see that what opens up is the conversation. This is where at the top you can see there's a designation that says posts. And so posts you can see are where these conversations happen. I actually started a conversation here for you as a sample based off of what I'm going to need for you at the end of your watching this video. If you could please come and just briefly introduce yourself, and then tell me a little bit about what I can do. What are the 3 top things that you would like to get from Educators Rising? And if you make a mistake in this space, don't worry about it. We're the only ones who see it, and we're all navigating this new platform, so don't worry. I've already made one. I accidentally hit send, so I just said ignore it. The other thing that I think is really valuable for you is our PLC notebook. In this PLC notebook, if you hit right over here where the books are, you're going to see, if you've never navigated a notebook, it's set up with tabs that are based on content that you may need for your course or for your district, depending on what position you have. Yes, you will have access to an excellent curriculum through Educators Rising, but there are some nuts and bolts of putting the program together that's not included in the curriculum. These are sort of highly localized decisions, or these are some of those extra pieces like guest speakers and conferences. And so I've put all of these together here, and I'm consistently building it out. So for example, I put our McNeese hosted a summer professional development. I put all of the resources. And so you'll notice that there are pages within that tab that are linked to those resources. The pre-educator pathway is here, as well as this is a link to some state funding in case you need some additional funding for your district, and also to the Louisiana Believes website, which they are building out. They're creating a resource library for us. And then the pre-educator pathway itself is here. The micro credentials was something that I immediately wanted to get started. It was something that you let me know, the teachers let me know you would like to see samples of the micro credentials. So I have found samples. I have samples for you for all 5 of the micro credentials. Anti-bias instruction and classroom culture are the 2 that McNeese State University recognizes for college credit in our teacher preparation program. Collaboration, learner engagement, and formative assessment are typically done in year 2, and those are recognized only as micro credentials. There is no college credit associated with those. You can click on them, and for the sake of time, I'm not going to, but it takes you to a student sample that received the credit. They received the micro credentialing. So those are built in for you. The McNeese State University College Credit Agreement is also here so that once your student has the micro credential, he or she can use this format to receive their credit on their transcript for McNeese State University. This is the National Educators Rising, some of the national materials. And one of the things that you wanted to know about was how to recruit students and how to get started. This is an excellent video series. There are short little webcasts and they're archived by topic. Again, for the sake of time, I'm not going to click on it, but they have excellent ideas, and much of them is how I started recruiting students and building the program. And they just put them in nice little videos for you so that you can and to see how to do that. Conferences are a big part of Educators Rising. We have our regional, state, and then we have a national one. As information becomes available, I'm going to link it here and put it here on our team so that you can have easy access to dates, times, forums, etc. Scholarships is another area that I'm building out. We don't have any available yet at this time, but those always come available as the year progresses. So we'll link them here. Social media is something that you may want to get involved with. We do have a Facebook site for Louisiana on Educators Rising. Contact information for Educators Rising itself and then our state coordinators. As it changes, and I find out about it, I will update those contacts. Sometimes you have specific questions that you need information for. And then the last thing that I'm really proud of that I've been building out are our guest speaker opportunities. So with COVID, it is somewhat difficult to safely sometimes get as many guest speakers as we would like to. And also for new teachers, it's kind of difficult to plan all of that out. Again, like I said, it's a lot of moving pieces. So what I'm doing is building a bank of virtual guest speakers. Each one of these interviews or conversations is about the length of a class time, a little bit more, a little bit less. And so what I'm doing is I'm building out a bank, and I tell you there's a link to the interview. It's always a YouTube link, so it should be easy for you to access, and any additional resources that your students may need. So for example, this is one with our Calcasieu Parish School Board 504 specialist. She does a fabulous presentation explaining the difference between RTI, ADA, 504, and IDEA, and explains how we can meet the diverse needs of those specific populations. And she even includes a game, which is super fun, um, and it allows the students to collaboratively decide how to meet the needs of those populations. The second one I've included is Dr. Amy Weems. She's the architect of Louisiana's pre-educator pathway. So if you're wanting to introduce your students to the pre-educator pathway, you've got a link to the architect who tells you all about it. And she also tells you about her experiences, Louisiana Teacher of the Year, as well as some of her other really rich experiences in education. I have 2 other interviews that I am editing and uploading, and I'm trying to build those out. They're kind of time consuming to make, but I think that they'll be useful for you, especially new teachers in the classroom. So again, this is our team, and I'm just building those resources up. I'm putting links to things that I think will be valuable for you. And these are things that are not necessarily included in the Educators Rising curriculum, but they're valuable to building a strong program. And I want you to have access to those, easy access to those. I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint, and I'm just going to briefly explain to you a little bit of how I built it. So, based on what you told me you needed, I built out the platform and I'm continuing to build that out. This was from our summer PD session. I am learning more about fundraising. So that can be tricky. So I'm learning more about that one. And then this one told me that you would like more professional development opportunities. This was the teachers, and they wanted more professional development opportunities. And they said that at McNeese during a school day or at McNeese on a Saturday was best for them. So my next steps are I'm going to look at the number two, the second one here. I'm reaching out to district leadership to determine if we can have a professional development workshop during the school day. Um, if they say yes, that's definitely something I'm going to build out and make available for you. If they say that that's not possible at this time, then I'm going to make a Saturday option available for you, like a half day Saturday. If you could please look at the first one, this is your follow up for me. Please visit our team and introduce yourself. Select post at the top and then add a reply to this PLC kickoff. In the reply, introduce yourself and tell us the top 3 things you would like to learn more about Educators Rising. I've done the first one to get us started. And then again, if you are concerned about how you're going to access the link, I'm going to follow up with an email with this video and with this link as well so that you can easily access it. And then I'm going to use your new needs data as well as previous data to develop future professional development sessions. I am very, very sorry that Tropical Storm Nicholas interrupted our plans. And I know it's very difficult to reschedule right now. We all have very busy schedules. So I didn't want to try to just run roughshod over this. But I did want to make sure that you get the information and you get access to what I'm already building out, and that you can let me know how to guide our next steps to make Educators Rising an excellent program for our community. We all know that we must solve the teacher shortage crisis. We all know that our local areas are experiencing it like never before. And so this could be a critical way that we can make a real difference for our communities and the future students. So please join me and let's make this a wonderful program. Thank you very much. I hope you have a great evening and I hope you all stay safe and dry.